Y'all, this is the most excited I've been to film a freaking video because I am an avid watcher of reality TV. Normally, people say reality TV is like a guilty pleasure for them, but I am loud and proud about my obsession with reality TV. I love it so much. I'm filming this video today because since I'm such a big fan of early 2000s reality TV, I figured why not discuss and look at the history of reality TV and why it will never be what it once was, unfortunately. I also want to talk about the state of reality TV today and how it's changed throughout the years because obviously the recent Keeping Up with the Kardashians is something completely different to how the show was when it first started and how there's no shows today like Jersey Shore and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just dive right into it.
There is a difference between like our ages and you guys' ages.
I mean, if this is a level of maturity, let me never be mature. Because I think...
Now, before I even get into the reality TV that I and many others probably have watched in like 2006 to 2009, we first need to discuss the very first reality TV show. Before I even say when the first show aired, y'all, reality TV has not even been around that long. And the fact that it's changed so much, what the hell? Let's go back in time, please. No, I'm playing. ABC Network, of course, was the first to actually have regular folk, regular people as the stars of a show in 1948 with their TV show Candid Camera. Candid Camera was actually a super popular radio show under a different name called Candid Microphone. I don't know how that premise would work. I assume it was just them prank calling people, but yeah, it was super popular, so they decided to make it into a TV show. The premise of the show is essentially like Ashton Kutcher's Punk'd. I assume that's where he got the idea from. Candid Camera is basically pulling pranks on regular people and filming their reaction, which is very similar, I think, to What Would You Do by, what's his name? John Quinones. It's similar to that, but it's with only white people.
These girls were introduced to their handsome new teacher, and we got a chance to watch and listen after the fellow left the room.
Surprisingly, since the show started in 1948, it literally went on until 2014. Hopefully, editing me can find some clips, and if I do, as you can see, the show is literally just like Punk'd or What Would You Do, which is why I assume Ashton Kutcher got that idea from. I don't know what John Quinones' idea was from on like social experiments, but hey, he's making a good name out there for himself. So another thing I want to quickly add is The American Family, which premiered in 1973. I believe this show birthed the idea of following families around and how they deal with their mess because it was the first of its kind to follow a literal family, and not a famous one. They were just a regular middle-class family who was dealing with business stuff, marital problems, and a son coming out as gay. Why they chose this family, I don't know. Maybe they had an idea when they were interviewing this family that stuff was about to go down, but they picked this family, and I think it was only for like a season. So y'all, the reason I want to talk about it though is because it inspired Modern Family, which is one of my favorite shows, or sitcoms at least, and it's just so crazy to see what that show was and how Modern Family literally copied that. Good for Modern Family, honestly. But now onto the reality show that I think inspired damn near every show on planet Earth, or reality TV show, is The Real World.
The Real World.
Which premiered in 1992, and they just gathered a group of young adults who didn't know one another and put them in one roof. Mez. MTV wanted Mez. Who thought of this? Whoever thought of this definitely just wanted to film what your freshman year was like in college, because that's where you get the most authentic, bitter, horny, weird people when you just throw so many strangers into one roof. They knew what to do with this show, and good for them. This is a hit. This show literally had 33 seasons. I feel like it's on par with what Big Brother is and how insanely successful that show is. Before I get into what I consider the golden era of reality TV, I should probably mention I'm not going to discuss competition or dating reality shows just because those are a whole subgenre in itself, and I feel like so much could be talked about in just one of those specific genres. First of all, Gordon Ramsay has like 7 different competition shows. Like, calm down, sir. And then dating. Every 5 business days, Netflix is coming out with a new dating show. So there's just so much I could talk about within those 2 niches. And I can't do that right now. So I'm just going to talk about the golden state of reality TV that I believe when it comes to following a group of people without some ulterior motives like love or a $50,000 cash prize.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
The golden era of reality TV, which is going to be the most fun segment I'm going to have to film right now because I get to talk and rave about my favorite, or some of my favorite reality TV shows, because Wow. I need to really quickly Google who the producers were of these shows because, yes, give them their 10s, please. Just a quick little disclaimer. In each of these shows, I think there is definitely a problematic person, and I'm not endorsing these people. Let me just get started. Let me start with the reality show that definitely changed every middle-aged woman's lives, which is The Real Housewives. And just as a quick side note, The Real Housewives got inspired by Desperate Housewives, which is an ABC scripted series. And when I was a child, I thought Desperate Housewives was real. Like, I thought they were genuinely filming these people, and these were not actors. I thought Miss Juanita and Grace were like real people, and I'm like, oh my god, why are they filming this? If you haven't seen it yet, that definitely is a spoiler. Maybe not, I don't know. Desperate Housewives was full of mess. It was low-key an excellent show, but we're not talking about that scripted series right now. We're talking about The Real Housewives. The Real Housewives series began in 2006 with the women of Orange County, and after the success of that show, they literally did 11 different variations just in the US. So it's following a different geographic location of affluent women and what they do. My personal favorite Real Housewives series was New Jersey because that's the one my mom watched. So obviously I'm gonna sit down and watch the same one she is. Hello, I was like 9. There's a lot of fantastic meme internet moments within each of the 11 variations of the show in the US. In the early seasons, these women were doing anything. They were fighting. So not only did the Real Housewives have 11 different variations in the US, but they had 21 international adaptions. That is something so insane to me. I think Jersey Shore also had various adaptions like the Real Housewives, but I don't think to this extent. I feel like the appeal of the Real Housewives series was because everyone wants to know, what do wealthy housewives do? Especially if you see some of these houses these women live in. Because I know when I'm watching Gilmore Girls and Lorelai happens to go to her mom's house, I wonder, what does Emily Gilmore do all day? And this show kind of gave us a little insight on what the Emily Gilmores do. I feel like I can't talk about the show without mentioning their iconic reunion episodes. I do think that's where we kind of get a lot of their viral moments. And that's also where we get Andy Cohen, which is a character in itself, honestly. He's the main host for all of these reunions. He's become a celebrity in his own right. I think because of his role in this. He's one of the only good hosts, honestly, for reunion shows. Every time I see a reunion show of a reality TV show, boring. Selling Sunset, boring. Do better, get better hosts, please. Let's ask the real hard-hitting questions. Please. What I can say about the present day era of this show is, I don't even know. Y'all, I don't even know anything about the present day era of the show because I stopped watching 3-4 years ago, I think, because it just became so producer heavy. And around like 2014, 2015, you could really tell how scripted a bunch of these fights were, or how produced or how producer involved some of these fights were, and it just takes you out of it, especially if you've seen the beginning seasons. You know, a lot of this is just manufactured. Another important note for the Real Housewives series is because it's gone on for so long, each of the 11 variations, a lot of the original lineup of women aren't even there anymore. They might have 1 or 2 original cast members from the first couple of seasons, but y'all, majority of them, they're not dead, but they're gone. Like, they don't star in the show anymore. And a big appeal of this show was you got connected to various housewives, which I think also influenced how people felt about upcoming reality shows, where you kind of want to see the same group of people and following them through whatever journey the reality show is taking them on. And with that being said, I'm now onto possibly my favorite reality show, Jersey Shore. Y'all, I don't have anything that's like Jersey Shore attire because they're only wearing that in 2008 and 9. But I do have a singular jersey, so I decided to wear that for this video. I have to give them a little something. Jersey Shore brought us Snooki, Pauly D, and the others. That sounded shady. I don't mean and the others in a bad way. It's just that Snooki and Pauly D became caricatures of Jersey Shore and what Seaside is. The Italians were mad when they found out they were getting sent to Italy because they were like, this is a bad look on Italians. So again, that's why I mention only Snooki and Pauly D, because I'm pretty sure they were some of the biggest Halloween costumes too when that show first aired. Anyway, before Italy and season 3, technically, we had 8 randos get introduced to us, which were Pauly D, Snooki, Mike, Jenny, Sammy, Ron, Vinny, and Angelina. That was the original cast the first 2 seasons, and then after that, everyone stayed the same except Angelina. That hoe, girl, she was acting up too damn much in the first 2 seasons, so they dropped her ass because the whole house hated her, and we got in Dina. I think she was like the only good character in the original series. This show basically replicated what The Real World did, where they just throw in a bunch of strangers and put them in a party house and see what happens at the end of the summer. And I say majority because Vinny and Angelina actually knew each other when they first went to the house, because they're both from Staten Island, and Angelina is the Rob Kardashian of Staten Island.
Shut the
so they already knew each other through that. Now, for much of the 6 seasons, the show literally just followed the cast partying and their antics in Seaside, except for season 4 where they went to Italy. And that season, if you've seen it, it is a little hard to watch knowing what they were all going through, or at least what had happened before then prior to filming. Mike, I think, was suffering through withdrawal. Jenny was going through a miscarriage. And during the show, Snooki and her husband Gianni, who were not husband and wife yet, but it was just like a whole bunch of mess happening with them during the show. It was like very hard to watch. They were all going through something emotionally because they were also in a foreign country where no one liked them either. However, seasons 1 through 3, some of the greatest television I've ever watched. Yes, all you do is see what they're up to in that damn house and in the clubs. Oh my god, I even forgot to say, season 2, they're in Miami, which is also crazy because the Miami club scene versus the Jersey club scene in Seaside, vastly different. It was so funny seeing what they were wearing. No offense, but it was funny seeing what they were wearing to the Miami clubs, knowing damn well no one was dressing like that. But yeah, this show, despite them doing damn near the same thing, it's just so interesting how much drama can happen, but also the way they acted in clubs, fascinating. I won't lie, when I rewatched the show, knowing Snooki and I are the same age, or at least we were the same age when she first started the show, so in season 1, I was like, oh, that's crazy. I won't lie, I did get a little bit of FOMO watching Snooki. Not when she was damn near showing her kuka to everyone, but she knows how to live it up. That's all I'll say if you haven't seen Jersey Shore. Another thing I should mention, since it's one of my favorite shows, is why did no one tell me Mike and Polly were damn near 30? Or maybe were 30 in season 1? The rest of the cast was very early 20s. I think 23 max was like Ron or something. If they were to replicate this show, I don't think they would put those grown-ass men with these early 20-year-olds. This show has so many quotable moments and memes. First of all, this show resurfaces on various streaming platforms like Peacock and Hulu. Every time it resurfaces, so many people are binge watching it again and they see the mess and antics that happen. The Jersey Shore cast gets famous again. I think that's also why the show didn't stay the same after the 3rd season, because the crowd just got too big. So when they were out in public, there's only so much they can film without people yelling and bothering them and having to like mute that. But I think the beauty of the first few seasons of Jersey Shore is none of them knew they were going to be famous. But the thing with season 1 is you will never get the start of a reality show like that again, where it just everyone is so down for the ride and not there with the intention of becoming an influencer at the end of it. You know, like they just were so interested in the fact that they got a free ride to this shore house, you know, and all they had to do was work like an hour and a half at that damn t-shirt shop. Before I move on, I should add that I do think Dina was such a great addition to the cast. Dina was the only person on that show who I truly believe is nice. She's the only one, because everyone else had their hater-ass things to say about random people on the street, mainly women. They mainly had things to say about women, and Dina never heard a peep out of her about women. Any misogynistic thing, I can't really recall if Dina ever said anything like that. So yeah, that's why I have to appreciate her ass going on the show, because oof, she was the only one protecting the girls in the house. Also, Ron, I hope he rods. I do hope Ron rods. You don't like that, man. Now I'm on to the saddest part of the video, where I have to talk about the current state of reality TV, which is bare bones and dry. I don't even really watch reality TV now if it isn't a dating or competition show, because reality TV where it's about following a family or a random group of people, it's not fun anymore. The Real Housewives and the Kardashians are some of the OG shows. The Real Housewives is not the same anymore. The Kardashians had that annoying ass filter on their show. Y'all, I know you're doing a smoothing filter.
Stop.
I also saw a few boring ass clips from the D'Amelio show, because there have been quite a few YouTube videos talking about what happens in the D'Amelio show, especially in their past season, where the main conflict is Dixie and Charlie not getting along and Dixie being really rude to Charlie. I have seen those clips. It is sad what Charlie is going through, don't get me wrong, but it's so boring. These people claim they want to show their life to you, but they don't. They need that paycheck at the end. They need to keep that D'Amelio name at the end, because they're not showing you anything. In a one YouTube video I saw, they insinuated there was marital problems, but they never really talked about the big issue that happened with the parents and how it affected Charlie and Dixie. If you're gonna insinuate and hint about this big bad thing that happened over you guys like a dark ass cloud, at least spill the tea, at least tell me what happened so I, the viewer, am not confused. I do have to say though that the new competition reality shows, there are interesting moments that happen out of them. In the new Jersey Shore Family Vacation, there are some entertaining things that happen, but it's never the whole episode. The whole episode never can keep you entertained anymore like it used to. These reality shows are just not hitting anymore. People don't want to be authentic because they're scared they won't get as many followers when they come out of the show, because they're just just trying to promote that damn Bloom nutrition. Y'all, just be yourself. See, I don't know the exact shift that happened that made people act less like themselves on camera in order to secure a spot in fame. Honestly, it's probably The Bachelor. I think The Bachelor and Love Island were such an easy way to become an influencer at the end. People realized that the villains of the show did not gain as many followers as the lovable ones. So now everyone is just boring and trying to be lovable. Just act like yourself on camera so that way I can at least be entertained for a little bit. Damn. Now, since the state of reality TV currently is trash, do I think we will ever go back to what it once was and people flipping tables, cursing out whoever, honestly, slapping people? Like, do I think it will ever go back to that? Yes and no. Obviously, shows like today with the Kardashians, the current state of Real Housewives, and the D'Amelio show, they will never show you anything bad about their life or anything controversial that happens within them because they don't want to be honest or authentic about what happens. They only want to show the curated aspect of themselves, which is something I talked about in my last video, and it's definitely something that happens in reality TV as well, not just social media. So the only way I truly believe reality TV can go back to what it once was is if the people who go on these shows don't go in with the intent of, I'm going to quit my day job after this, because then yes, we'll never go back to what reality TV once was. I also think with the big celebrities that currently have their reality TV shows, they will never change that format because their fans will still watch it no matter what, even if they're not entertaining at all. They will continue doing what they're doing because clearly it's working and they have some form of an audience if they're able to continue renewing that season. But for new reality TV shows, like a good example is Love is Blind. Love is Blind always has key moments that keep people wanting to watch new seasons because they know another pivotal moment and a crazy character is going to pop up who really doesn't care about being shown as a villain or whatever. I forgot what season it was on Love is Blind where he said love is blurry to him.
That's all I said. But I want it to be partially blind. I want it to be love is blurry.
That man who said love is blurry is trash, but he was right. Love is blurry. Love is blurry. If you look at the success rate of that show, everyone who ends up with someone they think is a uggo, they always try and bail. They always try and get out of that, even if they were vibing with their personality. They care about looks, y'all. So that was low-key funny when he said that, especially because the Lachey's got so mad. Nick and Vanessa Lachey, y'all are both conventionally attractive. Let's be for real. Anyway, if a show was full of horrible people like that, or not even horrible people, but if you could just tell that the person is being themselves, it would make for a more entertaining show because people aren't trying to mask who they are for the camera. It's such a shame that reality TV isn't what it once was. That's why I think the Jersey Shore cast is always randomly getting in the news again, because a whole bunch of people, when they see what's currently going on in reality TV and they want a good reality TV show to watch, they just go to the OG seasons of good reality TV. Sadly, this is a bitter end to my video because while I do love watching mess, I don't like being in the mess. So reality TV is a perfect way for me to get that entertainment. But with the state of reality TV now, I'm not getting that. I mean, technically you can get your fix of dramatic moments in reality TV with whatever internet drama happens every 5 business days. Now we get to see 2 randos talk about this hoodie thing. There did not need to be so many think pieces about who was in the right and who was in the wrong. Who cares? That's why I think we need to bring reality TV back. I don't care if you think one is a bad friend over the other. This is why we need reality TV back. What is this drama with a hoodie? Do you know how small? That wouldn't even probably be a segment in a reality show from the 90s. It probably wouldn't even be a segment because it's so unserious. I should be done now. I don't want to keep ranting about that hoodie girl drama because I just am probably going to start calling people buffoons and I don't want to be doing that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm sorry if it was a little hectic. I did try and write a script for it. I literally sat my ass down and wrote a script. Wow, did it take a long time for it to turn out like this, but it was my first time doing it, so I'm sorry if it was a lot. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you're into reality TV from this past decade or even currently, please let me know the reality TV shows that you guys like to watch because I need my fixes in. I need new shows to watch, or maybe we can chat about the same TV shows that we both like to watch. I would also love to hear everyone's thoughts about reality TV or even cable TV, honestly. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope it wasn't too long and boring, especially because it was just something I'm interested in, like talk about niche. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and comment, and I will see you in my next one.